You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
3 numbers before the open. $950 billion, 24.1%, and $2.6 billion. Samsung and SK signed AI chip and memory agreements worth $950 billion combined. Non-performing loans at Korea's 4 largest banks rose 24.1% in 6 months. Korean retail investors net bought $2.6 billion of U.S. stocks this month, 4 times June's pace. 2 Korean markets are trading at once, and only one of them is semiconductors. It's Monday, July 27th. Here's what today's story could mean for the Korean market. Korean chipmakers converted 1-year memory contracts into multi-year supply agreements at last week's San Francisco AI Summit. At the same time, Brent crude at $100.69 and a 3-year Treasury yield of 3.959% raised funding costs for everyone outside that trade. The split is now visible in bank asset quality, in household delinquency at a 10-year high of 0.33%, and in where retail money is going. Here's what the numbers show. Samsung Electronics signed a $200 billion memorandum with Broadcom running to 2030, covering HBM supply, sub-2 nanometer foundry work, and advanced packaging. SK Group committed $750 billion across AI infrastructure, including more than $500 billion with Nvidia for HBM4 long-term supply. Non-performing loans at the 4 major banks reached 5.64 trillion won, about $3.85 billion, up 24.1% in 6 months. NPL coverage fell to 146.0% from 172.0% at the end of last year, because provisions grew only 1.9%. Korean investors net bought $2.60 billion of U.S. stocks in the first 24 days of July, 4 times June's total. Bain Capital's exit leaves SK Hynix's investment vehicle holding 14% of Kioxia, second to Toshiba's 15.1%, pending antitrust clearance in several jurisdictions. So, what does this mean for active traders in Korea? Earlier, we said 2 Korean markets are trading at once. Here's what that actually means for you. The semiconductor complex is being repriced on 5-year contracts, while bank credit metrics are deteriorating faster than provisions are being built. That is a divergence in fundamentals rather than a call on direction, and the same index carries both sides of it. Watch Wednesday, July 29th, the last order date for U.S. stock sales to settle inside the 80% return-to-market deduction. Watch next month's Bank of Korea decision, after this month's hike to 2.75%. Watch second quarter provisioning at the 4 major banks, where average coverage now stands at 146.0%. That's today's AI Prism. Stock investors. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Won IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.